Hi, I'm Nick Regine, the Professor of Crystal. Welcome to this episode of Ask the Professor. I'm really excited to have Tracy Giuliano here from Creative Crystal. Tracy, thanks for coming.
I'm very happy to be here too. Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited about the new BeJeweler Pro, and I'm looking forward to explaining to me how you made all these incredible pieces of clothing and also some of the decorative things for interior and so forth. So let's get to it.
Okay, sounds good. I'm really excited to be here with you too, and thank you for having me. Today we're here to talk about the BeJeweler. It's the electric rhinestone applicator that was actually created to use just with Swarovski crystals. So it is really good with the crystals of Swarovski only.
Excellent.
No other crystals.
Excellent, we like that.
We're the top of the line, so we want to work with the top of the line.
Thank you.
So today we're here with a lot of different items. I'm going to show you a little bit about the tool as well, but I guess I can go into some of the items first, if that's okay?
Please.
Okay, and one of the items that I wanted to show you today was a picture frame. And I took a simple picture frame. You want to use a porous surface because the crystals really have to adhere to the surface, so you want to use a porous surface. This just happens to be a fabric picture frame. And what I did is stencil out a word, stencil out a star, and place the crystals with the tool on it, and look at what it, it just looks so nice when you decorate things with the crystals, and you can really make just an ordinary item pop into anything that you want. Obviously, I like them a lot because of my shirt. But it's just so much fun to work with. This is just one example. And we brought a whole bunch of examples today. But another line that's really good to get into is for brides.
That's awesome.
You're looking for like the perfect gift for a bride, or if you're working as a person, planning weddings.
Yep.
You can decorate any plain item for a bride. These happen to be gloves, obviously. And then what we did here was just make it really creative by putting like a little ring around the finger of the glove.
I was looking at that on the table. That's really cool.
Isn't that fun? And it's just
great.
really, it's so much fun to work with. And once you start decorating, it's almost like an addiction. Then you just find things. And one of the things I was just talking about with you yesterday was I took just a shower curtain in my home, and it happened to have a little embroidery. So I just followed the embroidery and put the crystals right on I have little palm trees, but I put little crystals right on the palm trees, and it just popped, So that now every time someone walks in my guest bathroom, they see the crystals and they want to be jeweler and they want to start decorating. So it's just a lot of fun. This is a denim jacket that we took. And again, what we did is we take, you can take the design, you can actually just follow the stitching if you're not real creative and you're worried about that aspect. You can follow the stitching of a design on your own clothing and just decorate that. But what we did was stencil out a word. Follow the word. And again, we use the Swarovski crystals, which makes it amazing, but we also carry all the different colors, so you can, really be creative with colors. And if you have a favorite sports team, you can do that on your jacket. So it saves you actually a lot of money because you can pick up really inexpensive pieces of clothing. And then just decorate it. So, and another household item, these are just little tassels that you would hang like in your bathroom, but we place the crystals on them, and then, again, they just really pop.
It's great to hang one of these from like a ceiling fan too, like for the pull chains.
That's true. That's true. And a lot of people do this and hang them in their rearview mirrors.
That's cool.
So that's kind of a different idea. And then we took a baseball cap, stenciled out a little dog paw, and popped some crystals on it. And then we did a photo album, again, kind of in the wedding theme again, but stenciled out some letters so you could do that for a bride or a groom's gift, something creative like that. And then another aspect of decorating, we do a lot with greeting cards and things like that. So if you're giving out your Christmas cards, for the holidays, or if you have a gift for someone's birthday, place a couple crystals on it, and they like to keep those cards.
That's a great idea.
You know how everyone throws them away. Those they seem to keep. So there's just so many different things that you can do with this tool. But this tool is so amazing because it's ergonomically designed. So see how the handle's real flexible on it?
That's great.
We created it also so that it has a very short nozzle. So when you plug this tool in, it takes about 5 minutes for it to heat up.
Okay.
And then it comes with all different size tips for the crystal. So we come with 8 different tips. One of the tips is actually a flat tip. We call it the hotspot tip. What that does is if you have a different shaped crystal, like say you wanted to put a teardrop or a different style crystal on it, you would use that hotspot tip on it. All of the crystals have a heat sensitive, as you know, glue backing, the hotfix. So this tool will actually pick up that crystal and you can place it down where you want it, and then you just lift up and it's on. Machine washable, dry cleanable, all of that.
Awesome.
So it's just so much fun. It's so much fun to work with.
Great.
So I'd love to show you how the tool works.
Awesome.
Okay, and what I do is you plug in the tool, allow about 5 minutes for it to heat up, and once it heats up, and first off, let me just say, you want to put the right size tip on the crystal before you plug it in, because it does get hot, the tips get hot, so you want to make sure that you put the right size tip.
Okay.
What I do is I take my crystals and I lay them out onto a flat surface, and what I did today was we took just a block of glass and put a Teflon sheet on them. You want to have them on a surface that's completely hard and that the crystals won't stick to, okay?
That's actually a really, really good idea.
Yeah, and it's real easy. I mean, you can always find a flat surface. Just keep your Teflon sheet near you, lay it down and put your crystals on it, okay?
Yeah.
And then what you do is take the tip and you want to place it right over the top of the crystal and it picks it up, see? And then right on the crystal, you'll see that starting to melt and it gets a little shiny. As soon as it gets shiny, you can place it down, and I'm just going to place it on the jacket here that we've already started decorating. And then you lift up.
What I liked what you did with the tool is you actually went in kind of from like an angle from the sides
and rolled
there
it.
instead of going straight down, because I think if somebody goes straight down on top of the crystal,
Right.
Maybe they have a tendency to force that crystal into the tip of the tool.
And that's a really good point. One of the things that I do have out here is, you probably see that, the straight
Be your
pin.
assistant.
Exactly. I keep a straight pin near me at all times because of what you just said. Sometimes when people go to do this, they think that they need more pressure than they really do, just like you said. So what I do is I rest my hand. One of the good things with this tool is I can get real close.
Yeah.
I rest my hand right next to the crystal, kind of roll it right over the top and pick it up.
That's
and
great.
then like you said, you don't need much pressure, but once that tool picks up the crystal, all you've got to do is allow a few seconds for that glue to heat up, place it straight down, and I kind of just give it a little twist, because what that does when I twist it a little bit is it kind of pushes it even more into the fabric.
Great.
But once it's there, it's there. I mean, it's really easy to do.
Now, Tracy, I noticed that you have a wire brush here. Will you show us what this is used for?
Yes, and this is the only utensil that you need for this tool. This is the cleaning brush. It's a wire brush. It comes with each tool. Each tool also includes 7 other tips aside from the 16SS tip. So you get everything included, and all you want to do is, after you're all done decorating, or maybe if somewhere along the line you're decorating and one of the crystals happens to get stuck in there because you put too much pressure, you want to keep your straight pin near you. There's little slots already in each tip, and you can just actually pop that little crystal out with this. So instead of wasting a crystal, you can actually put it down. If that is stuck in there, place it down and then just pop it out with your pin, and you can take the side of your tip so you don't waste that crystal and just kind of lay it over and let it melt into the fabric a little more.
I also see another tip that's new to me, so can you explain what this tip is?
Yes, and this tip is called our cluster tip. This is actually sold separately. It doesn't come as part of the package, but it's a very inexpensive little tip.
Okay.
Each tip does screw right into the end, and one of the other things that I keep near me is just a little cloth of some type, because let's say I'm decorating an item and I'm using 3 or 4 size crystals. You always want to be able to interchange those crystals without waiting to unplug it, let it cool down. So what you want to do is just wrap it around the end of the out of the tip, and then you can unscrew it, and then it'll just come right out. And once it comes out, this one's in there a little bit tight, but hold on one second. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
And then once this comes out, you want to just drop it down. And again, make sure that it's nothing you're going to touch again. And you can put in the new tip. So you want to just screw it in there. Hold on one second. Okay. You want to screw it in there, okay? And then there you go.
Excellent.
Okay, and then once it's in there, you want to allow a few seconds.
For that
This
to reheat
one
up
is going to
again.
take a little bit longer. I would give it like a 3 or 4 minute time.
Yeah.
And then with this, what you can do is, let's say you wanted to do a little pattern of some type, like you wanted to do, say, like this little dog paw. Okay, now you had already put a transfer of some type. Maybe it's a heart or something. So you put your little transfer down, or if you wanted to do it free-handed, you could do that too. But what you would do is you would lay out your crystals onto the item. Let's say if we were doing this, and we wanted to do just a little cluster of crystals. So we laid it out, okay? And you'd lay it obviously with the crystals facing up. But you would lay out your little design or your little pattern, put like 4, 5, 6 crystals together, and then you could just take the flat tip and put it right on top and melt them straight down this way.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's a real, it's a real useful tip, because again, or if, like we were talking about earlier, let's say you had the pear-shaped or any other shape crystal that's not one of the standard normal round designs, you could just use this tip for that too. So yeah, you would just take it and then put them all together and then place it straight down on top. Now this, you want to let it sit maybe like 60 seconds or so, just to make sure each crystal, and apply even pressure. That's really important too.
Not really moving the tool around, just kind of
Yeah,
make
just keep it
contact.
right on the top of it. Yep.
Great.
And then it'll melt right on there. And one of the things that we didn't really talk about was if you're using a real thin material, I did this in my earlier days, when you're using a real thin material, and let's say it was the lining of a neck of a shirt or something like that, you want to make sure you put that Teflon underneath that, because if you don't, you're going to end up going right through both sides. So now you're going to have your collar stuck. So you want to make sure you always keep that Teflon sheet between a real thin material. All right, so then, yeah, and then you just lift up and there you go.
Great.
And it's on.
I think people are going to go wild over that adapter because it's really getting a nice pattern. And
Right.
like you said, if you've got the hat and you've got the
That one I
transfer
didn't
there, you can just kind of hold it on top of there. So I love that. That's great.
And Nick, one of the areas that's really an area we didn't discuss today is, you know how a lot of people now are working from home
Yeah.
and they're trying to make some extra money? This is a great way to make extra money. What you can do is actually take some items, put some crystals, or have people send you items. If they have something special and they want it decorated, you can actually purchase the crystals,
Yep.
have your tool, and decorate it for them. And people love that. They absolutely love that. So that's another area. Also for dancers, ice skating, gymnastics, a lot of children are into that.
For sure.
Yeah, and they have their competitions. So crystals are great for that too. I mean, that's just a great way to embellish anything. And one of the other areas that's really neat is, let's say you have a couple of shirts at home, not you personally because you're a man, but women have a lot of shirts at home. And let's say some of your shirts might be losing a button or, you know, whatever. You don't want to go get a new button. What you can do is actually just take that old button, put your crystal
Yep.
right on top of that thread that is starting to come out.
To fray, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll just seal on the button. And now you can just do the rest
That's-
of your buttons and there you go. You have a whole new shirt. So there's just so many ways. And I think honestly, every woman deserves to have the best Swarovski and the BeJeweler together.
That's
You can't
great.
beat it. You can't.
Well, thanks for that great tip. And Tracy, thanks so much for coming out and showing our viewers the new BeJeweler Pro.
I loved it.
I wish you lots of success with the tool. I know it's
Thank
going to
you.
be fantastic for people using it. And I love the new tip and the ergonomic style. So it's really, really great. So
Thank
thanks
you.
so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Again, I'm Nick Regine, the Professor of Crystal, answering all your crystal application questions. We look forward to bringing you new episodes featuring fun, creative, and easy ways to use Swarovski elements. Remember to visit our website at www.createyourstyle.com, and please share your designs on our Facebook fan page and follow us on Pinterest. We also welcome your postings, comments, and questions.